It's Andrea from WellAndrea, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to get back to an exercise routine if you have been taking a break. And I think the end of summer, beginning of fall is a good time to talk about this because oftentimes we have changes in our lives during the summer that affects our exercise routine, and we may stop doing some things because of changes in our schedule, because we go on vacation, because our kids are home, because it is super hot and humid outside. So many reasons. And what is important is to get back to a routine that will make us feel great. And there are just a couple things to keep in mind to make this successful so that we don't injure ourselves, that we don't get frustrated, that we don't get discouraged, and that we're really reminded of the fact that exercise can make us feel wonderful, should make us feel wonderful. Okay, so first off, if you took a break for about a week, there will be no negative consequences. In other words, you won't have lost really strength or conditioning or flexibility or anything like that. So you really can go back to your regular program and continue. The only caveat there is that sometimes people think they took a week off, so now they have to make up for the workouts they missed. And that then can become problematic because you can do too much and you can hurt yourself that way. So do not double up on workouts. Do not add extra weight, extra reps, extra anything. Just get back to a regular workout, okay? If you took 2 weeks off, it's very similar. There won't be really, you may not even notice that you really lost any strength or any conditioning. But I would be a little bit more cautious. I would keep the first workout back a little bit easier. I recently took 2 weeks off. I was traveling in Europe and I made a very conscious decision to make those 2 weeks my rest. And I didn't do any bodyweight exercises. I walked and did a little bit of mobility, but that was it. So when I went back to the gym, when I came back, actually, I was very anxious to work out. I had really missed it, but I was very mindful of what I was doing. So I came back to a full body workout. I first of all made sure I really warmed up well that first workout. I always try to warm up, but I was especially mindful. I really warmed up all the joints and the whole body so that I was ready to lift weights. I did lifts that I am very familiar with, that I know I can do in my sleep, so to speak. And I kept the weight moderate and the reps. So I stayed in about 10 rep range, and I probably had about 3 to 4 in reserve. So I usually go closer to failure, but I, purposefully kept it easy. I wanted to see how my body reacted, and it actually went really well. So 2 weeks, really don't have to do too much differently, but I would definitely just do something a little bit less intense, maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit further away from failure. Okay, if it's longer, let's say 4 weeks, then you really will start to lose some strength, some conditioning, and so on. And then it becomes really tricky because our minds remember really well what we did, and they want to do exactly that. And they do not want to take into account that now there is some deconditioning. Okay, so really for every exercise, you will have to test it out. And you will have to go by how your body feels and not what you did a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, whenever it is, right? And obviously, the longer the break, the more careful you have to be because you will be more deconditioned. So that is really important. And so, I would definitely come up always with a program. Have a program that you will follow. Have that program with lifts that you are familiar with. Don't do something that you are not quite sure how to do the lift, or that you haven't done in a really long time. Do something that you have been doing, that you know how to do, and then figure out what the correct weight is. And it may be quite a bit lower than what you remember that you used to lift. And that is okay, because your strength is going to come back much quicker than you think. Even though if you think like, oh my gosh, when I used to bench press 20 pounds more and I am so weak now. Yeah, maybe that first week or the first couple weeks, that's the case. But then you will probably gain a lot of strength a lot quicker than you did the first time around. So it's really important that, again, that you warm up correctly, that you cool down, that you challenge yourself, but not too much, okay? Because the thing that derails you the quickest, and that I think is the most problematic thing about taking a break, is that you do too much once you come back and then you injure yourself. And that is detrimental because then you will lose more workout time. So I hope you had a great summer. I hope you had great workouts. If you are changing up your routine, I hope you come back to something that will make you feel great and that you will want to come back to because it makes you feel great. And if you are changing your routine, you're getting back to a workout, just be mindful of what you're doing, listen to your body, and you will be back where you want to be in no time. Have a good day and keep moving.